Name is Brian Craig, and this is where manga comes to talk. Oh boy, I've been up all night, got a little bit of sleep here and there, and I imagine a lot of you have been up most of the night too. This is just it's just awful. I just am just as upset today as I was yesterday. You know, when I was on the air last night, we didn't know that President Trump was okay for sure, and now that we know, uh, there's some things I want to say and talk about that I didn't want to talk about last night until we knew 100% that President Trump was okay. Um, I know everyone's talking about the Secret Service fail. There is no doubt about it. When I was growing up, the Secret Service were the elite. They were beyond the Navy SEALs, right? Beyond the Green Berets. They were the elite. And when I watch these god awful videos on social media of everything that happened from the stage to the SUV, I'm seeing incompetent, overweight, out of shape agents that couldn't carry me across the room, not to mention President Trump with his Kevlar and his suit and everything else that's going on. And um, one thing I saw, Lawrence Jones picked up on this on Fox News this morning, and Lawrence Jones was 100% correct on this. Um, there was no reflexive movement with the gun. The Secret Service women in particular who are overweight. How does someone that's obese become a Secret Service agent in the first place and then get put on the top detail of the Secret Service, which is this kind of protection, the protection of a president who's obese? And they looked very awkward with their guns when they were putting them back in the holster, didn't they? Um, this is a failure on many levels, but it's this DEI, didn't earn it business that's going on. We used to call it affirmative action. Now they call it DEI. It's like they changed global warming to climate change. They changed liberal to progressive. They change these. They change these names of things to try to make them seem more acceptable to people because what I'm still upset this morning, guys. I just really am. I just can't believe this happened to him. You know, and I was when I was driving home from Mar-a-Lago last night, I was talking to my wife on the phone, and I said, "My God, could you imagine if this was at the Miami rally when the entire Trump family was there?" You know, um, I'm just imagining what Melania and Barron. I don't think we're going to see Barron again anytime soon. But this DEI crap, this affirmative action, which is what it is, has to stop. This lady director of the Secret Service whose main goal is to make sure 30 some % of Secret Service agents fit the check marks. I mean, and I think you guys know exactly what it is I'm talking about. The Secret Service were America's elite, America's super soldiers, tough guys, just machines that are like cyborgs, that are perfect people, that when there's a situation like this they can handle it. And you look at the Secret Service agents, and I got to tell you, bless Donald Trump for getting up and giving us the fist bump and all of that, and that inspires all of us. But That shouldn't have been allowed to happen. How could they have not totally covered him up and had him out of there by that point? How did that happen? You know, let me play this part here just to show you what I'm talking about. I mean, why are they still there? And you look at these agents, and they look completely lost. They're yeah.
Move his spear. Hold. When you're ready, on you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go.
Move. Go. They're not going anywhere. I mean, is it just me, or do these guys look awkward and don't really look too comfortable and secure with what they're doing?
Let me get my shoes.
Got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we gotta move to the car.
I mean, now this is what I'm talking about. Why is he still here? Why are we seeing him? I mean, I'm glad he did that, and he made us proud and showed these effers, you know, that he's going to stand up to. But why is he still there, and why is he still fully exposed? How did this happen?
Watch out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the awkwardness, and then a little bit later when they get to the car, when they get to the car, the agents are very uncomfortable. They're just not natural. It's not an instinct. Their actions aren't a part of their body. It's just a mess. Now, I did turn the phones on. If you'd like to call in, you're welcome to call. It's the same call-in number, my toll-free number, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. And I'd like to tell you guys to, just as I did last night, okay, be respectful. Okay, be respectful. Watch what you say and be cool, but you're certainly welcome to give me a call right here on the stream live, 1-888-465-2631. But looking at this Secret Service failure, I mean, those guys on the stage, it took them 2 seconds to get on him, which, okay, I don't know, but they still kept him completely exposed. All right, we'll take our first call here. I just forwarded the number to my cell phone, guys. I didn't want to do the show from the studio this morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. My name is Craig from Winter Garden. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Well, not too good, of course, like anybody else that loves President Trump. Listen, I'm listening to what you're saying this morning, and I'm agreeing with everything you said, but look at more of the videos. There were people, fans, in the stands saying they saw people up on the roof talking to the Secret Service, and they pretty much avoided it. And one other thing, there's other videos showing a Secret Service on the roof with a tripod with a rifle pointed, and he's sighting it, and he's looking through it. And as soon as the last shot's fired, within a split second, he fires a shot. Now, he was like he had the shooter in sight, waiting till he got through.
Well, you know what it looks like? You know, I'll tell you what it looks like to me is that he was, that I know what the video you're talking about. It looks like the sniper was waiting to get an okay from somebody to take the shot. You know, maybe he was confused and thought that maybe it was one of their guys.
Well, I don't. How could he have fired though when he saw? He had to have seen the sniper pointing the rifle at that direction.
Yeah, it's insane.
Down, and he was zoned in on him, and like within a split second, as soon as that last shot was fired, boom.
I don't think there was any conspiracy with the Secret Service, other than a conspiracy of incompetence.
I agree with you on that. I do. You know what I saw, but that wasn't the first. I didn't even think about what you said till just this morning.
What was that?
What you said, and what you just said about how that he had him up in the air. Look at when President Reagan was shot. Man, they grabbed him and covered him and threw him right into the limo. You know.
When Reagan was shot, you know, if you go back and you look at they're wearing funny looking suits and everything. The Secret Service, but when the Secret Service because I was in third grade, I remember it well, and watching it on television. And
I was 21. So
yeah, okay. Well, I remember I was a little older than me, and I remember the Secret Service. They had machine guns underneath their suit jackets, and these guys didn't have any of that. We saw some guys come out very casually with some rifles later, but I was surprised at how light the weaponry was with the Secret Service agents there on the stage. Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. It's awful. It's just weird how that guy was. And you say you don't believe there was a conspiracy. Well, maybe, and I never believed the government was like it was till so many things that happened with President Trump. And I'm like, man, anything like you said in the past.
It's true.
We believe Bush. With the weapons of mass destruction.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, Winter Garden, I appreciate the call.
Yep.
Take care. Yeah, guys, I do have the phone forwarded to my cell phone, so I can only take one call at a time because I'm using my cell phone. I was going to do the show from the studio this morning, but I just didn't want to. I wanted to sit down and rest and be a little more casual. I've been up all night. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, I mean, we look at these agents that were there, and you talked about, you know, how they're kind of out of shape, and they were kind of DEI hires, right?
Kinda. I mean, the women. One of the female Secret Service agents is obese.
Kind of makes you wonder. We asked the question, why hasn't he given RFK agents? Kind of makes you wonder. If he would have given the same type of agents to RFK Jr., you know?
Well, you know, I was talking. Yeah, really. You know, I was talking to my wife last night, and this could just be me. I don't know, but I've been around President Trump many times over the years, and I've seen his Secret Service detail. And I didn't recognize any of those guys. I'm not saying that they're not his regular guys, but there's a couple of people that are never far from him that I didn't see. I don't know if it was their night off. I don't know. But I think that those agents we saw on the stage who didn't protect him, even after he had been shot, who left him exposed, full frontal exposure on the stage, that is insane to me. That's textbook incompetence. I mean, when Kennedy was shot, the car went as fast as it could and got out of there. When Reagan was shot, they threw him in the limo and drove off instantly. This is insane to me.
Right, and think about this though. These guys are supposed to be like special forces, like Green Berets or like the SEALs, right? They're supposed to be in the tip-top shape, skills tip-top, and all that stuff. And these these agents were not.
No, that's true. All right, Mike, I appreciate the call. Yeah, that's right. They're not. These are not top guys. Yeah, if you'd like to call in, please do. The number's the same number I always use, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Have any of you been up all night too? Like me? I just can't believe that the Secret Service director, Itchy Brain, a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Incompetence, exactly, exactly. I want to show this. This is a guy who went over and had words for the media.
You remember what you got. This is your fault. You. This is your fault. Every last one. This is your fault. It is your fault. This is your fault. You. This is your fault. Thank you, sir. Your fault. This is your fault. You want this.
Okay. Last night it's this guy here echoes what Barbara told me last night. Now, if you were watching me last night on the radio, when Barbara called in, who was in the front row in the bleachers behind the president, and I want to thank Barbara, if she happens to be watching, for giving me her time and sharing what she witnessed. And I want to thank Nick and Katina in Baltimore for connected me directly off the air with Barbara to get her on the air last night. I'd asked Barbara what the feeling was, because what the feeling was here at my house with my wife and I was just, we were crying, we were upset, it was very emotional, and she said there was no crying, that it was anger. It was anger. And it was before I spoke to Barbara on the phone. I told you when I was watching on Right Side, I saw some people turn around. One guy in particular, they were giving the middle fingers to the press. And this gentleman here, he is spot on. Liz Tupling, $10 super chat. Thank you very much for that. And this monster shooter, whose name I will not say. I will never say this man's name. And you know what? You guys shouldn't either. Really. I'm never going to say that guy's name. But he was 20 years old. So this guy has he spent half of his life hearing from Nancy Pelosi, Biden, Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, Joe Scarborough, the crew on CNN. For half of his life, most of his coherent life, from the time he was about 10 or 11 years old, all he's heard is that Donald Trump is Hitler. And how many movies have been made? They even made Twilight Zone episodes of people going back in time and shooting Hitler. And, and that's one of the big things when they talk about timeline, time travel in movies. Could you go back in time and shoot Hitler? Look at the, and there's been this brainwashing and conditioning, and the media and the Democrats certainly are responsible. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. My name is Billy. I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona, so it's pretty early here this morning.
Yeah.
I just want to say I was watching live. I was at work yesterday afternoon, and it was pretty quiet, and there was a couple women that were in the store having conversation with them, and I said, oh, my gosh, Trump just got hit.
Yeah.
And they said immediately, like, oh, my gosh, why didn't they just take him out? I looked at them.
Take him out. You mean take him off the stage? You mean take him off the stage?
No. No, why didn't the shooter, why did he miss?
He was trying not to. He didn't miss on purpose.
So I said, you know what? I said, I don't know. It's pretty obvious what side of the street you're walking on right now. And I know what side of the street I'm on. I'm a Trump fan. I said, but here's the thing. There's too much hate in this world. And as long as you talk the way you talk, there's not going to be any difference in the world. I said, we all, both sides of the street, need to walk in love and be kind to each other. It's people like you that are creating such destruction and division in our world. And she just looked at me. She said, I never thought of it that way. And I just said, well, you know what? I wish you, that God walks in your life and can guide you in the right direction, because this world is crazy. I said, we need to unite together as
Well,
human beings,
that's
not
how,
fight like
I get it. She told you the right thing, but that's how liberals are. Last night, I don't know if you were watching me I was live streaming. I was at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and I was at Mar-a-Lago around midnight, and some guys drove by and yelled out "F Trump." After, I mean, the liberals are not decent people.
Well, and I grew up my grandfather was a state senator for Arizona, and he was a Democrat. And growing up, being in the political world, it was just so dysfunctional in our family that I just refused to, for the longest time, be a part of politics. But
yeah.
I really turned the page of being into knowing what's going on in our government when Trump came into the picture. And I don't know if this is wrong to say, but I think that my grandfather, he has passed, but if he...
all right, I don't need to go through the what he would do and stuff. I appreciate that. We want to be cool with what you say. I want to stop her before she gets anywhere with that. But I do want to thank you for your call. Yeah, you're welcome to call me. Obviously, I have our toll free call in number forwarded to my cell phone. So I could only take one call at a time. So those of you that have been calling in, since I'm taking the calls over my cell, it's the same number I used during the week, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. But there's those of you that watch me regularly, if you're new to my channel, subscribe. My name's Brian, and this is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. But those of you that watch me regularly know that I always am telling people to clamp down on that rhetoric. And sometimes people get mad at me about it. And I said, no, when you are you are a broadcaster or speaking publicly or in private or just to a friend on the street or some liberal jerk that at your job site, rhetoric could cause what happened yesterday, and the media and the Democrats, they broke the line years ago, and it's been nonstop, and it's called the incitement of violence. Your freedom of speech ends when you're inciting violence, because you're inciting harm against others. And I've talked about that so many times over the years through all these events. And all we have from the left, and which includes the media, right? All we have is people telling people that this guy Donald Trump is Hitler, and this animal shooter yesterday thought that he was shooting Adolf Hitler, and he probably thought that he would be remembered as a hero. Okay, and that rhetoric comes from the media, his teachers, the Democrats. I mean, it's clear. It's not even up for a debate. This isn't in theory. It's reality. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Nick up in Baltimore.
Hey, Nick. I appreciate you getting me connected last night to Barbara.
Oh, you're really welcome. She's very good and a really, really good person. Brian, I'm really upset. I won't be long. I'm just really upset. When I saw, we were watching as everybody was, we were watching the event up in Pennsylvania, and when we saw President Trump go down, I thought that was it.
Yeah, me too.
And
me too.
Me
too. And I'll tell you, I don't want to
get that image out of my head.
I don't want you to lose your thought, but I thought he was too. And the reason I thought that is because these incompetent affirmative action DEI agents kept him up there on the stage, and I thought he must be hurt so bad they can't move him. And yeah.
Well, I can't get the image out of my head. I've been up all night.
Me too.
I
Me too.
swear to God, I have been up. And yeah. And the other thing that's upsetting me is I'm on Facebook, and I know a lot of nice people, great people in the business, and people I've worked with as well in the government. And some of the stuff I see, some of the vitriol.
Oh.
I mean, saying that the thing was fake.
Yeah. Staged. Staged. Give me a break.
This is the poisoning of this administration and the media, and I lay the blame mostly on the media and people like Maxine Waters.
Absolutely.
People like the president, the current president, who said on July 8th we need to put a bullseye on Trump.
You know, the head of this lady, DEI Secret Service director, should be fired today.
Yep.
Out.
Yes.
And do you agree with me that there was no it's hard. I'm having a hard time talking today, guys. I've been up all night and I'm really upset. There was no reflect.
Okay.
There was no reflex. I can't even say the word. Yeah, I'm trying to say reflex. There was no reflexive action with these Secret Service agents, with the way they behaved on stage, all the way to the car, or with their weapons. They looked very awkward. They didn't know what to do.
Like they were caught off guard.
But you know, you remember when Reagan was shot by John Hinckley? Those Secret Service agents weren't caught off guard. They were much more heavily armed than these guys, and they handled it. They were big men. They grabbed him. In fact, they threw him in the car in the limo so quickly. He remember, he hit his head, and he thought that the Secret Service broke his ribs. It wasn't a bullet; that his ribs had been broken by the Secret Service throwing him in so hard into the limo. And these guys were not the detail around President Reagan.
No, they weren't. And I just it's getting worse. Every day we get up, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And all of us, and Richie knows too, because Richie's a veteran and he's has a lot of experience. The thing is, every day it gets worse.
Yeah.
You don't know what to expect, and this was totally unexpected. Here we thought, well, it's going to be a really great rally. We had our dinner, whatever, ready, everything, and all of a sudden, there's this.
It was it may have been the biggest or close to the biggest rally, because I remember before President Trump came out, they showed a camera angle from the stage, and you could see people as far as the eye could see. And I'll tell you another thing. I talked to Barbara about this last night, and one of the big security failures was letting everybody leave. How did they let everybody leave? I'm sorry. They could block down the roads and keep people there. I'm sorry. They let everybody leave before they knew what was going on. I was in shock at that.
Well, there are a lot of things that were mishandled, and I think also because of this administration. Remember, the Biden administration is being controlled by other forces.
Yeah.
You know, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., it doesn't have secret.
Well, the FBI, I hope he does today. The FBI last night said they're investigating some other incidents that were there last night. And they, but Bobby Kennedy, I really wish he would give up this stupid campaign, drop out, and endorse Trump. I mean, I was thinking about his dad so much last night before we knew 100% that Trump was okay. I was telling Kathy, I said Bobby Kennedy was on the stage talking after he was shot, and he looked like he was talking pretty normal, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He did. Yeah.
But I just the thing is, this has been ginned up so high by Pelosi et al.
Joy Reid and all these people, Schumer.
Yeah. I think that, Brian, you're not going to like what I have to say. I think they should shut MSNBC down. I really do. I think when Trump gets in, what he should do is go after NBC's broadcast licenses. They have broadcast licenses. and hold their licenses in abeyance, which means they won't be renewed.
You know, this is.
And,
I mean,
I'm
you know,
serious.
you listened to me for a long time. You've heard it last night. You even heard it today when I'm talking to callers. I always clamp down any type of violent or rhetoric, or if I hear that someone's starting to go into that direction, I always end the conversation and move on. And you have a responsibility to do that as a public speaker, not just as a broadcaster. And we've see. This monster that did this yesterday thought he was shooting Hitler, right? I mean, why would he think anything different? He's been conditioned and brainwashed to think that by this media.
Well, just last month, wasn't there a cover of the New Republic, a picture of Hitler and Trump, and their heads merged together?
Exactly.
Didn't the Washington Post say it's okay to think of him as Hitler?
Yeah.
This has been ginned up by the press and Maxine Waters and
That's
what
right.
What about Chuck Schumer threatening Justice Kavanaugh?
Well, yeah, exactly. And remember, it wasn't that long ago that the Democrats in the House they were trying to have President Trump's Secret Service detail removed.
That's Benny Thompson.
Yeah,
I think Benny Thompson should be thrown out.
He should be. They should do.
Censure him.
They should do to him what they did to George Santos. If they could remove George Santos, they should remove Thompson for what? Yeah. Well, Nick, I appreciate the call and your help getting Barbara last night.
Well, you're very welcome. Thanks, and thank you for the program. Thank you for last night too.
Absolutely, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're all welcome to call in. I have the regular radio studio call-in number forwarded to my cell phone. So my cell phone only has one line, so I can only take one call at a time. But if you'd like to, it's the same number as I use during the week: 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. No, RFK spoke last night. RFK Jr. spoke last night. But let me pull this up. This is some of the rhetoric that we're talking about here. Joy Reid.
Then let me know who I got to vote for to keep Hitler out the White House.
Say, keep Hitler out the White House. Keep Hitler out the White House. That's what I'm talking about. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Good morning.
Hey, Richie.
Thank God, in a way, it is a good morning for America.
You sound like it sounds like you didn't get a lot of sleep, Richie.
I didn't. I'm upset about this. I mean, I'm watching you on YouTube. I'm watching this crazy Joyce Reid. I'm going to tell you something. The security problem in this country didn't happen yesterday. The security problem started a long time ago. I remember when they had that play. You remember that Broadway play? That's when Laura Loomer went up on stage. The Caesar play with Trump in New York. Yeah. Yeah, when they had the blood, the crazy lady, the comedian holding. Yeah, I think, and it's been the responsibility. One thing about the right, we have tolerated all of this. We've been called insurrectionists. We've been called racist. I mean, we've been called everything in the book. And our leader, now they try to take him out. Now, we are the tolerant side of the country. I personally, Brian, I don't want to live in a country like this. We have tolerated these people. We got a president of the United States. Richie, listen, Richie, the Democrats, they've always been this way. Okay, we're just living through something we haven't lived through before that the Democrats have pulled. I mean, the Democrats killed Lincoln. They did the Civil War. They've always been this way, They've always been this way. And what this is going to do is it's going to cleanse this country of this poison rhetoric. This is no longer going to be tolerated by people. Because this, MSNBC, what they've been doing and what Pelosi and Schumer and the rest have been doing for the last 9 years against President Trump has led up to this. And there's going to be a big reckoning. People, yeah. They're the security problem. They are the security problem. The president and his wife are the security problem. Just the night before, President Biden said, put a target on Trump. Bullseye. I've heard them say right on bullseye. I've heard them say right on television, we have to do and whatever it takes to keep this man from taking 1 foot into the White House again. I mean, this is what they've been talking about.
That's right.
This is what they preach. And like you said, they have brainwashed these crazy people who believe everything they hear. I mean,
That's right.
This is so outrageous. I mean, let me tell you something. In a way, President Trump, I mean, he's the guy he's got everything. He doesn't need any of this. Yet, look what they try to do to him because he wants to try to save this country. I'm tired of hearing these people saying that he only thinks about himself. I mean, this is ridiculous already.
Well, if he thought, he got up last night and risked his life after he was shot, and he looked pissed off, and he put his fist up, and he said he's not going to take this shit anymore. Sorry for the language, but that's what he was saying.
Well, I listen on the Blaze. I listen to Sarah Gonzalez. Okay, so when you get off, you know who Sarah Gonzalez is?
Mm-mm.
She's with the Blaze on YouTube.
Yeah.
You have to, at the end of your thing, go on Sarah Gonzalez on the Blaze and look what she said this morning. She's a mother. She just had a baby. And she never uses curse words because she's with the Blaze. They're oh, my God, Brian. I mean, the point is this, okay? We can't survive as a country like this. We cannot have this left-wing hate.
Well, don't you understand? But don't you understand what happened? Listen, when a terrible incident happens, you can't change that it happened. But you can take it and change things in the future. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of swamp draining that occurs because of what happened yesterday in Pennsylvania. I tell you one thing, this rhetoric on TV. The big boys will be back today and tomorrow, the full-time people, and I'm very curious to see how these things go. One of the reasons I'm so upset still this morning, you guys can tell. I don't want to be like Alec Baldwin here in the courtroom, okay? I'm sorry to be so broken up here, but I really need to see the president on TV. I mean, President Trump, okay? I need to see him on TV today talking to us. I need to see him to know how that he is okay, because I'm still worried about him.
Yeah, I want the people... Yeah, well, he is okay because he's actually. They showed him getting off the plane.
I saw.
Last night
I saw that.
Joking.
I mean, I know, and everybody's saying it. This guy got shot, and he walked down the stairs like the boss. But Biden can't walk up the baby steps.
Well, like I said, take a look at Alec Baldwin. You just brought him up, okay? This guy is such a nasty, big mouth bully, okay? And yet, and this another one that's a bully is Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro.
That's right.
This actor, this piece of garbage. Okay, they're all pieces of garbage. I have to say this, and those are the cowards. When you see Baldwin break down in tears and cry in a courtroom, and you see President Trump just got shot in the head and gets up there and defies it. Defies it. That's a leader, and that's a man.
That was amazing.
And I got to tell you, it's the most amazing thing in the world.
I took that photograph of him with the blood when the Secret Service are around him. I made that the wallpaper on my phone. That's good. I'm going to keep that forever.
CNN, I think it was CNN or MSNBC. They eliminated the flag. They got the picture without the flag.
Well, they don't want to offend people. Yeah. Just monsters.
I mean, this is a bad day. This is a nightmare that came true. I saw this coming a long time ago.
I was talking about this last night. This is the second assassination attempt on President Trump. Remember that the Vegas rally in the first campaign, a guy got inside the venue with a gun.
On the stage.
Yeah, the guy. No, that was another one. That was at an airport. At an indoor event in Vegas, a guy got in the venue with a gun. And got very close to Trump. They got him. I mean, what do you think about the quality of these Secret Service agents? My God.
I think they're excellent.
Those guys last night?
They're excellent. People, listen to me, the people that got around, that shielded him, were around him within 1 second.
2 seconds.
They put their lives in.
They left. Hold on a second, Richie. Did you see the obese women that were with him at the car?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you. That at the car is different, but you know what I wanted to talk to you about, really? They did say that the head of the Secret Service.
Yeah, the lady.
You know what her main goal is right now?
Yeah, 30% female
30%
agents.
female.
Yeah.
Here you go again. I'm getting so tired of this. I want the best of the best. I don't care if they're a woman or a man.
And Richie, you know, you're wrong. You're
Yeah.
wrong about these Secret Service agents. You know, they not only did I played the video again at the top of the stream. I don't know if they left him exposed. They should not have let him stand up and be exposed on the stage like that after he had been shot.
No, that's true. Afterwards, but that was a mistake.
And how did this guy get on a roof a football field away? And the one sniper.
Well, I'm not talking, Brian. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the immediate ones around the stage did the best they could. Okay, I'm not.
I'm going to disagree with that.
I'm not talking about the people in the fields, and those people should have had. The security was massive error.
Well,
massive.
What Richie's talking about here is when you get to. Let me tell you, Richie. You know, I've seen the Secret Service come out at Mar-a-Lago a couple of times. They came out at me once because I got too close to the gate with a friend of mine that I was walking around, and the guy came out with a massive rifle, one of the biggest rifles I've ever seen in my life. I didn't see that last night. You know, when you're at an event with President Trump, there's different layers of security of Secret Service, and the closer you get to the president, the higher level they are, right? The more qualified they are. I didn't see that last night, and I think when they review this, they're going to find that there's a lot of incompetence from this Trump-hating Secret Service director, and there was already a story today that the Trump detail has been asking for more security and was denied it.
Well, they're denying the request. The female sent out the press secretary for the Secret Service, and he denies that.
Please.
I got to tell you, this whole thing, and here we go with hearings again. It doesn't take hearing to hear the President of the United States the night before talking about all this crap that he talked about.
You know, let me tell you, if I were the president, of the United States today, even if it was my political opposition, I would have. Forget the hearing. The Secret Service director would have been called to the Oval Office, reamed out, and fired on the spot. She's got to go.
All charges against Trump should be dropped immediately.
Well,
these charges.
Yeah.
Every one of these
you know, these Fannie and Fulton County, Merchan, all these judges, they've all got a role of responsibility here. All right, Richie, it's good to talk to you. All right, thanks for calling. Yeah, if you're watching, I am taking live calls, and I just, I have a studio here at home where I take calls usually, but I've been up all night. I didn't want to use the studio. I just wanted to be here. But the number to call in is the same number that I used during the week, the toll-free number. I just have it forwarded to my cell phone. It's 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. But this is some of the rhetoric we're talking about. Let's go back to Joy Reid.
Then let me know who I got to vote for to keep Hitler out the White House. That's it. I'm done. Oh, and by the way, if it's Biden in a coma, I'm going to vote for Biden in a coma. I don't even really particularly like the guy. A lot of his policies, don't like him. He's not Donald Trump, right? Yeah. Hitler, White House.
Hitler, White House. I mean, you tell a 20-year-old from the time he's 10 that this is Adolf Hitler. What do you expect, Joy Reid? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Ram from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Fort Lauderdale. What's up?
Just calling to say first, I want to thank you for your service. It's helped a lot of people process this disaster.
Yeah.
And another thing, too, is that, and I'll be short because I'm like you, I'm kind of emotional. Another thing, too, is that is there a way for you to consider going to the X platform? You can simulcast because there's a lot of more people that could hear from
you mean stream on X?
Yeah. There's a lot of people there that could hear from you because you.
Well, if you guys could take you could take my video and share it on all of your X platform and accounts and everything, and invite people.
What I mean is live, like, right? You can do it live.
I could. I can't set up to do that right now during the stream, but maybe in the future I will.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Yeah. Take care. Yeah, I mean that. This is why we're did the broadcast last night. And if you guys saw me last night at Mar-a-Lago, I was really appalled at the press. Did you guys watch me at Mar-a-Lago last night? There was press there, and they were just monsters, right? They had these beefy private security guards that looked like bar bouncers, blocking off the public sidewalk and wouldn't let people walk on the public sidewalk, and they were just rude. They were rude, and as emotional as we all are, there was zero emotion from these guys. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is just fantastic. Look at this. This is a real president right here. Look at him walking down. Look at that. Guy just got shot. Look at him. Walking down the steps like the boss. That's a leader. That's a president. The Sunday shows today, I really hope they take this opportunity to clamp down. Now, I found this guy. And by the way, if you'd like to call in, please do. Since I'm using my cell phone, I only have one line. So, because of my cell phone. But it's the same number I use during the week. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I saw this guy this morning on
just got shot.
X.
So, President Trump just got shot. And as someone who voted against Trump in both 2016 and 2020, this is a cause for deep reflection by me. And my question is, have we been told the truth at any point over the last 8 years about who Trump is and what's actually going on here? A lot of people who are pro-Trump have been saying that this is the playbook of the day, whether it's a deep state or some shadowy interest in the government. First, they try to cancel you. So they say shit about your character. They say things that can't actually be proven. They take quotes from you that make you basically look bad. The second thing that they try to do is they try to convict you of something. In this case, trumped up charges about you paying legal expenses to a porn star for her to not say that you had sex with her. It's like, morals aside, like, is that really a big deal enough to convict someone? And then the third thing that they try to do is they try to kill you. And that's just what happened with Trump. And actually, I've been updating my view on Trump recently, and I've started going back to some of the things that I was told that he said, and some of them he literally did not say.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. There's a great awakening that's been taking place with people on the left, like this gentleman. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian.
Yeah.
This is Lady Love calling from the swamp up here.
Oh.
Barely slept all night.
No, D.C.
Yeah. D.C. I was watching. My question is, how was the snipers on the rooftop already had a target on the shooter before he even took his first shot?
Yeah.
I'm looking at this. I'm watching this, and I'm not psychic or nothing like that, but I love Jesus, and I love the president. I love Trump. I love him. I pray for Trump every day. Me and my friend from Mississippi prayed over him yesterday, and his family. We cover him in Christ and in prayer, and I believe it was truly prayers that prevailed and saved Trump yesterday. And it's going to be something major. We're going to have our president. But look, my thing is this. I'm looking at this, and I'm saying, wow, that's interesting. I thought those were camera guys on the rooftop. I said, then I'm looking at all those trees, and then I'm looking at that massive crowd. And soon I said to myself, wow, it'd be crazy if somebody started just breaking out shooting. And no sooner I said that, I said, oh my gosh. But Trump reacted so quickly. He grabbed his ear with his right hand and switched right down.
Yeah.
Security came on him after he went down. He went down. But we're looking at snipers already had their target on the shooter. That's when they should have said, had Trump off that stage, we got a sniper, we got a killer over there on the roof. They were already pointing at him.
And by the way, the Secret Service sniper didn't shoot until the attempted assassin, shot first. And I was talking to a caller earlier about this, and it looked like he was waiting to get an okay. Why did he have to wait to get an okay?
Did you see the second one kind of like dodged down and was scrambling when the shots were coming from the shooter?
Yeah.
The second one behind him, he's acting like he's scared and running.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Exactly.
Why did they have Trump up there? They knew they had a killer over there.
And even after he was shot, how long was he up there? How long was he up there after he was shot? A long time. He should not have been. And I know he wanted to, and I'm glad he did what he did with the fist and the and all that. But the Secret Service should have had him out of there before any of that happened, and it didn't happen. It's insane.
But in a way, that part right there just charged everybody.
Yeah.
Trump wanted to do that.
Yes, he did.
Trump. He wanted that.
Yes, he did.
Wanted his business. And every time I see that, I couldn't sleep all night.
Yeah, me either.
Oh, God, protect our president, protect his family, his children. Oh, God. I just can't. We can't go through this. We can't. I said, Lord, we can't handle this. I barely handled the past 4 years. 2020, I've lost everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. And I just can't. We can't lose our president. No, it won't happen. It won't happen. Ron, I love you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. It's good to talk to you.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
Our President Trump.
Absolutely. God bless you. Yes. Just great calls on the stream today. And I wasn't sure it'd work out taking the calls over the cell phone out here on the back porch, but it seems to be working. But there's no doubt about it. This is an awakening for a lot of people. Like this guy here I just played for you. A lot of these people, all these years, thought that we were crazy. By the way, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And if you already subscribed, please like the video. And if you wouldn't mind, share the video with all your social media platforms and everything, and invite your friends to this channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. The number, well, I'll give out the number in a few minutes because the calls are coming in pretty quick. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ. Wow.
Yeah, it's when I first got up this morning about 12:30, I saw a couple of the opinion, whatever the videos, just the picture. I'm like, that's got to be some kind of a, somebody's playing around, somebody's messing around. I get my coffee, I sit down. Anyway, I've been watching video and watching you. I didn't catch you on the radio, but I caught you going over the, on Southern, and I was getting pretty pissed off at the media, the van parked in the handicap spot. But I'll say this: I'm extremely grateful that Trump is alive. I'm beyond, I say extremely sad that it even happened. And I'm even more sad and praying for the poor rally goer that died in this insanity, and the two others that are, it's just...
Yeah.
When I saw Trump put his hand in the air when he got up, and I saw him put his hand out there and say, fight,
that's amazing. It's amazing.
Crying. I started crying. I couldn't help it. Even right now, I'm so freaking angry and
yeah, last night, last night when the owner of the radio station was my board op last night. If you guys were watching, yeah, and he called me and said, "Do you want to go on the air?" And he said you could do it from your studio at home. I said, "No, I'll come into the radio station and do it." And
I want to thank him, by the way, if you would relay that to him.
Well,
I remember watching him empty the garbage one time.
Oh yeah, well he's the owner. That's what they do.
The owner, and I was like, that's the type of guy I like.
Yeah, exactly.
He emptied the garbage, and then he asks you. You come in. I think it's, listen, you've got yourself a good following. I'd say a growing following, and I think it's important for you to get on the air, and you kept it together.
Well, I told him. I said, he said, do you want to take calls? And I said, well, you know how these liberals are. You know how they're going to be. And if you watched that stream last night, one of the first calls, liberal. Every liberal that got on the air last night was rough, and I didn't take a lot of calls in the beginning because I thought it was a time to cool people off. And the way I felt last night on the air is how I felt after 9/11, and I feel that way too. And I'm just I'm so grateful that this didn't happen at the Miami rally in Doral the other day when the entire Trump family and Barron were there.
Yep. Well, there was I think the doctor, I think it's Ronnie Jackson.
His nephew got grazed.
His nephew got grazed. So, I mean, there's just
Does anyone know how old Ronnie Jackson's nephew is? I mean, Ronnie Jackson's not old, but he's not young. I don't know. Is he an adult? There was, when there was one kid behind Trump in the bleachers that was dressed like him with the wig and everything, and luckily he's good, he's okay. But I was thinking about him.
I'll tell you, one of the things I know that's been talked about, and I just I try to look at every piece of video I can from as many different directions, and that's all they've been doing as far as the snipers on Overwatch, the production detail. I'm watching just before the first shot comes. And I slowed down the first shot of Trump 50%. That first shot was the one that hit his ear.
Yeah.
Because between the first shot and the second shot, at a 50% reduction in speed, he's been hit. His body, it takes that split second for the reaction. He moves his hand up towards his ear. But I'm looking up at the Overwatch, the protection detail, the white hat snipers, and the guy, the sniper in the front that's got his weapon on the tripod. He's looking through. He pulls away and he looks now, and from other videos I saw, there's a red-haired kid that gave an interview, I think, to the BBC or somebody that says that he's waving. There's somebody on the roof. There's a bunch of people there, and they're motioning. Somebody's on the roof, and the reason why that guy couldn't take the shot is because the sniper at Bear Crawl, he was on the back side of that building. This is a V shape. It's not a flat roof.
Yeah.
So he couldn't see him. So he's looking, he's trying to see the damn target.
Okay, so let me slow down. So this is the sniper that everyone's talking about. Why didn't he take the shot? You're saying he didn't have a shot?
Exactly. Why didn't he take the shot? Because he couldn't. He knew that there was something there. He's looking. He's obviously got his scope. He can see the people waving. He's probably getting stuff in his ear. There's somebody on the roof. So he's trying to see. He can't see. And I can almost guarantee you, this sniper, if this was planned, and this is another thing about the Secret Service on the stage, but I just don't think the guy, the sniper, he couldn't see him, and this bad sniper, this kid, whoever he was, probably knew the area. He knew where Trump was, before he climbed up. He knew where Trump was going to be speaking. He had probably rehearsed this a little bit. I don't think you just wake up one morning, have some.
Well, he had a ladder. He had a ladder.
Yeah.
So how'd that ladder get there?
So he did a little bit of whatever. He had planned this, and the good sniper couldn't see him. And as far as the Secret Service on the jumping on him, they're protecting him with their own lives. So here's the scenario. And sometimes circumstances like this, and these guys, I'm sure, are trained in this. That first shot isn't the fatal shot. The first shot is to get them to move the opposite direction. So the shot comes from one side. They run. They get Trump up and start running him towards the vehicle without having that secured. That could have been where the fatal shot comes.
Well, he was definitely, obviously aiming for President Trump's head.
Oh, he was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, it's. They talk about, forget an inch. This was just so close that an eighth of it.
Well, I know everyone's ganging up on the Secret Service, and I'm with them. The quality of the Secret Service detail is not the quality of person that I expect with the Secret Service. I don't expect overweight people.
Well, I tell you, you mentioned the women, and I just listen. The one that they dove on him too. It's not that they don't have the bravery. They're like a Ford Escort in a Formula One race. They just we need big, strong men that can move like cats, not like Ford Escorts.
Well, let me tell you, the thing with they're too short. They used to have height requirements, and the reason that security, Secret Service, police, they used to have height requirements are two reasons. One is an intimidation factor. You want to have a big guy, like the press. that this bouncer that the media had at Mar-a-Lago last night. If you go back to my video,
that big tub.
yeah, that big. You know, he was obese, but he was a big guy that could intimidate people.
He sure was.
And you know, and what I saw around President Trump were a bunch of little guys and little women. And
well, it's kind of hard to protect somebody 6'3" when you're 5'7", 5'8", 5'9". I mean, you're just leaving his head exposed. You need people around Trump that are 6'5" plus.
Their bodies cover his just.
Protect him.
Yeah, they're covering him just by standing there. They're protecting him.
They were putting their hands up. I saw one of them putting their hand up. That's not going to do too good against the bullet. The bullet's going to go right to your hand. But listen, they were there. They did their best. But, I mean, the combat assault team that you saw come in later, I mean, they needed to secure an alleyway from that stage because once that happened, I mean, all hell broke loose.
Well, I'm sorry. I cannot believe that they let everybody leave.
Yeah, I think that was
when I was watching it on Right Side, okay, and I was in shock like all of you, and I saw everybody leave, and I said to my wife, I said, what the freak? You know, how are they letting these people leave?
When the shots came out, your instant reaction, I mean, you know, when you finally realize that it's a gun, I mean, most people just automatically you drop for cover. But, you know, I can see people running away, but once they had it contained, I mean, everybody should, and believe me, the Trump, all those magazines.
Well, when Barbara called me,
they would have stayed and given every bit of information.
Last night, you missed the stream, but Barbara from Baltimore, who calls all the time, she was in the first row behind Trump in the bleachers, and she's got incredible. She caught everything on video from behind him.
My Lord.
And I told her that's the Zapruder film. Nobody has that. All the other footage is from the front. Yeah, and she first row behind him in the bleachers saw everything, including the shoe lane by itself by the podium. And she told me, I asked her, I talked to her about everybody leaving. I said, were you able to get in your car and leave? And she said yes.
Wow.
You're telling me there weren't other people in that crowd?
Every Trump supporter that was there would have been, you know, they would have given all the information they could and they needed to. Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, listen. They just tried to assassinate, you know, the next president of the United. They've been trying to. Do
and he was president before.
He was resurrected 3 days after he was elected. He's like, how can we get him out? They've impeached him. They've tried to.
Well, you know what I'm expecting them. What I'm expecting them to say because I was watching the news this morning before I went live because I wanted to gauge the media's reaction this morning, and they're all going after the Secret Service, rightly so. This head of the Secret Service needs to go, but we're going to find that he doesn't have. They're going to say that he didn't have that level of protection that we expect because he's not the official nominee yet. They're going to try. I'm telling you, watch.
They're going to try to cover. I mean, the way I look at this is pretty damn simple.
But I'll tell you, when I went to that cocktail party at Mar-a-Lago with the president, and
when you got the hat,
when I got my my hat, absolutely, which is now going for over $40,000. That hat. It's in the safe deposit box, guys. But when I went inside there was an army of soldiers inside. That, you know, those guys you saw on the stage, you know, those guys, they were everywhere, and for the life of me, I don't understand why this was allowed. I don't understand. The only thing is incompetence.
He's going to need, going forward, he's going to need like AAA or quad level. He's going to need different layers of security.
Do you think we're going to see any more?
You have private security.
You think we're going to see any more? You think we're going to see any more outdoor rallies?
I think 100%. There's 100% you're going to see an outdoor rally. I have no doubt in my mind. Donald Trump will do it. He will 100% do one. But at the next rally, he does. Listen, there's got to be, not just Secret Service. He needs private. He needs ex-Navy SEAL, Delta Force.
When I on some of the streams when he was still in his first term, I went to a rally. It was the week of Thanksgiving, and it had to have been his last Thanksgiving of his first term before the election. And it was an indoor rally here in South Florida at the same arena where the Panthers won the Stanley Cup. And they had private security there. and a lot of them were women, but it looked like they looked like fembots. I was showing them on the video. These were real secure. Even the women were 6 feet and above, muscular. They weren't doughy and fat and short.
Amazonians, okay.
You know, and you know, I was shocked at how short they were.
You've got to be tall enough to protect the whole thing. I mean, you got to have people that are at least as tall as he is.
To be a shield.
You have five people standing around trying to protect him, and his head and his shoulders are all above them. That's kind of an easy shot for a sniper.
That detail didn't even have the physical strength to lift him up. You know, he's got a Kevlar vest on. His suit is Kevlar too. Okay.
Yep.
And so however much he weighs, you got to add I don't know how many more pounds to it. They did not have the strength to pick him up, and that's just that's DEI. Didn't earn it.
Yep, didn't earn it. I'll say this, Brian: when you have a billionaire, okay, that's literally taking bullets for this country and for America, okay, and you got Biden taking 10%, who the hell are you going to vote for? Okay, it's a pretty simple choice. And the crocodile tears that I've seen coming from some of these Democrats, I mean, like Obama is saying, I mean, I just don't want to hear from those people. I can't. It's sort of like every time I see a liberal, it's almost like the nails on a chalkboard. It's just
what I was talking about this last night. If you remember on after 9/11, we were in this. It was brief. But there was this phase that we're all Americans now. There's no Republicans. There's no Democrats, and and most of the Democrats behaved. And for it wasn't a long time, but I haven't seen that yet today. And even Blitzer last night on CNN. I got the clip. I don't know if I'll play it out, but even Blitzer was talking, well, what about Trump's rhetoric towards Biden? You know, I mean, I couldn't believe.
They're using the two-pronged, they're using the double-side rhetoric crap, and it's just not there. Trump, you know, somebody in the audience was being a bully or being nasty, and he said, I'd like to punch him in the face. Big deal. That's a fight. We're not talking about a sniper from behind the,
and this monster who's, and guys, don't say, I'm never going to say this guy's name, ever. But this guy was Antifa. Remember, this is the second attack on Trump by Antifa. Antifa attacked the White House when he was in there, remember? And they had to take him to the bunker, and 80 Secret Service agents were injured. Remember that?
Yep. Yeah, it was like assault on Stalin, whatever.
And Biden says it. Yeah, and Biden says Antifa doesn't exist. It's just an idea. I mean, I'm sorry. It looks like they exist to me.
You know, the thing that gets me too, Brian, is that when I think about the high-tech age we're in, I mean, we don't need a military drone flying over one of Trump's rallies. There's plenty of, low noise, drones they could have had in the air with cameras. And spotted this guy, my God, for a couple $100, maybe $1,000 or whatever the hell they cost. You have one, on the roofs. Just have a drone with the camera going back and forth. Sitting in a van.
Did you watch my stream last night? Did you see when the police rolled up on that praying couple that I showed?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, they're going.
We pray on the bridge. I'm like, yeah. Well, you got to. I was going to say. You started saying they got to be moving. I'm like, well, you should be walking back and forth if you want to pray. Don't stand there. I mean, who wants to see? I wouldn't want anybody out there. I don't care if it was the Pope. You got to move along.
Well,
Nobody should be standing still outside Mar-a-Lago.
No,
like that.
That's why you never see me stand still. I've always, because the Secret Service have told me. They said you can come here, but you got to keep moving. You can't stop.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that level of protection at the rally last night. This guy was too close. Too close. All right, it's good to talk to you. Great call. All right.
Take
care, take care. Great calls on the stream today, guys, and I do appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. I'm a radio talk show host. I also podcast. I live stream on YouTube. I'm at home. Tomorrow morning, I'll be on the radio at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. I'm on the air weekday mornings. And we're just processing and consoling each other with everything that has happened. Yeah, I want to pull this up. This is a story on the head of the Secret Service. This is nuts.
Women recruits.
Let me rewind it.
aiming to have 30% women recruits by 2030, and even allowed YouTube influencer Michelle Carre to train with agents.
But I'm very conscious as I sit in this chair now of making sure that we need to attract diverse candidates.
Oh my goodness.
And ensure that we are developing and giving opportunities to everybody in our workforce, and particularly women.
That workforce will be pivotal for the 2024 campaign season, which for the first time includes a former president who already has lifetime protection. Agents were there when Donald Trump was arraigned in New York.
We were able to work out the details ahead of time of how that particular day was going to go, but we will always ensure the safety of all of our protectees that we have.
The service has a zero-fail mission. A mission officers are training to uphold, pretending this field is the most famous address in America.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? That's the head of the Secret Service. She wants to have 30% of the Secret Service women. That's her goal. And let me pull this up. This is what I'm talking about with the women at the vehicle. I mean, look at these women. First off, okay, what I was talking about with the caller. See how short these women are? I mean, you need to be big enough to be an intimidating factor, but also a shield. And let's watch this. I mean, the one in particular is you see the guy, the Secret Service agent with the rifle. This one and this one. I mean, they look like they don't look like Secret Service agents. Look at them. They look awkward. No reflexive action with the weapon. Look at that. She can't even find her holster. Did you see that? She can't even find her freaking holster. Look at that. What the hell? I mean, how many women do they got? There's 3 of them there? What the hell? You know, and I'm not sexist. The private security women that I saw at the Trump rally when he was in his first term, they were not these women. She can't even find her damn holster. And she gave up finding her holster because she couldn't find it. Yeah, get your sunglasses on, ladies. Maybe she could use the hand sanitizer like that guy in Uvalde. I mean, these 3 women here, this is a joke. It looks like they went to Party City and bought, like, Men in Black costumes, put on some Ray-Bans, and they're calling themselves Secret Service. Woman could not even find her damn holster. Got the sunglasses on. Oh, yeah, and she fixed her jacket, too. Look at now, this is the one on the left that couldn't find her holster. I'm going to rewind. Look at this one in the center. She makes sure that she's got her sunglasses on, and then she fixed her damn jacket. Look at that. Glasses on, fixed her jacket. What the hell? Is that the level of supreme soldier that you expect with the Secret Service? No, it's not. No, it is not. This is where we are in America now. Now, this is getting a lot of play. This is a psychic, and he made this prediction quite some time ago. This is insane. Watch this.
All throughout, and I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking people say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus for what I saw coming.
Well, that's making the rounds. That's going viral. That video is. I don't know who he is or exactly how long ago it was, but it was within the last few months. Yeah, I mean, and this is. I was watching this last night after the president left, and this kind of crap really pisses me off. By the way, if you'd like to call in, I do have the number forwarded to my cell phone. It's the same number that I use on the radio during the week, 888-465-2631. If you'd like to call in. We've had some great calls on the stream today, and some of the callers have really added a lot to the conversation. 888-465-2631. But I saw these stories last night when this was happening. Trump escorted away after loud noises. Really? Here again. Donald Trump escorted off stage by Secret Service during rally after loud noises ring out. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after poppy noises heard at his Pennsylvania rally. I mean, what are these people out of their freaking minds? As soon the instant I heard it, I knew exactly what it was. Exactly what it was, and I think you all did too. Let me pull this audio up, and then I cue this up. I wanted to play this. Hold on. I'm not sure if I can get this audio queued up. Yes, okay. This is the emergency room doctor who was there on the scene. Well, let's take a call first, then I'll play that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Chuck up in Leesburg.
Hey, Chuck.
Hey, good morning. Hey, I got a couple things I wanted to say. One, I heard Gorka right after everything after everything occurred. Gorka was pretty PO'd with the Secret Service.
Yeah, he should be.
Rightly so, like we've been saying. Yeah. And matter of fact, he had to hold his tongue because he was about to, I don't know what he was going to say, but he was going to really step it up in his criticism. And it's just, and I don't want to say incompetence because I believe if you look back at the whole Epstein debacle when he was put into custody, during that time, you couldn't call that incompetence. It had to be planned somehow because I don't know if it was a supermax prison or not, but
you talk about the suicide of Jeffrey Epstein?
Camera didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that particular camera didn't work that night, and so we don't know what happened. So it's not a stretch to say that it was planned. Whoever figure out the whole protection plan for any venue that they go to.
Yeah.
If this guy was whoever the decision makers are in that, if they created that opportunity for this guy to do what he did, then you've got another situation like that where something very well could have been planned. And it was
the shooter had some type of planning. There was a ladder, and he knew where to be. And
right.
You think the ladder just happened to be there? He must have set this up in advance.
Absolutely. And did you see that guy they interviewed? He was wearing one of those visors with the fake hair on it. And he was talking about he saw the shooter prior to the rounds going off a few minutes before.
Yeah.
And he was constantly pointing at him. So I'm like,
Yeah, and there was another person who said they told the police, they told the Secret Service, and they were ignored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So hopefully some things come out of this. The truth comes out, and then we can just expose what's really going on. Yeah, but even more so than all of that, more than the finger pointing part. I'm just thankful that he's still with us.
Oh my God!
And that God
Could you could you imagine what would it be like today if Trump didn't move his head right at that moment? What would the world be like?
You're talking about millimeters or centimeters.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's here, and I'm just I didn't sleep last night, and you probably didn't.
I've been up for over a day now. I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep.
I couldn't sleep, and I wasn't worried, but I was just unsettled. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what I think one of the reasons. Obviously we're all upset, but I need to see President Trump on TV, and that would help me a lot. You know.
Yeah.
And and since I haven't seen him on TV, I need to see him tell me he's okay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. But the thumbs up did help. The thumbs up, and another thing I didn't like about these agents, he's practically standing over them, and he lifted them stuff up above them. Well, actually, when he was getting into the back of the SUV, he stood up on that, and his head was exposed again.
Yeah.
And they should have prevented that. I know he wanted to reassure the crowd and all of that stuff. That's great. That has its place, but I didn't like that.
Well, no, what he did was it shouldn't have been allowed to happen. I showed the video at the beginning of the stream, and you've all seen it. When he got up off the ground, he's fully his chest and face and head are fully exposed to the crowd.
Yeah.
And that's and that should not have happened. They should have carried him out. He should have. I was talking, Chuck, to the caller earlier. None of us are opposed to women and minorities doing anything, but these people here, they're incompetent and they're too short. I don't think they were physically capable of picking President Trump up and carrying him away.
No way. They couldn't have. And that goes to show that policy does matter. This whole DEI stuff, it doesn't wash. It doesn't fly, It doesn't fly in this case. It doesn't fly in the NFL or in Major League Baseball.
That's right.
It's not only in sports, but a lot of other places. It just doesn't work. And they need to stop the madness.
Yeah. What were you, when you first saw, how long, did you see it live or did you see it after?
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
What was going through, what were you and your family thinking? What was your emotional reaction?
Shock.
Yeah.
Just shock. Yeah, the wife and I both, we were like, and then like a lot of other people said, oh, well, I knew this possibly was coming, and I know they've already wanted to do this all along.
Yeah, but people say that, but you always say, you know what, though, the Secret Service, they're the elite, they're the best of the best, and it's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then
There's just no reason for that.
And then what did we see? A bunch of incompetent, obese midgets. I mean, those women.
Exactly.
I mean, listen, and I know some liberals may be saying, well, what kind of shape are you in, Brian? Well, I'm not a United States Secret Service agent.
Right. I'll be the last one to make fun of somebody's physical attributes, but
we used to talk about this with firefighters. My father is a retired disabled firefighter. He was injured pretty bad in a fire, and I'm not big enough to be a firefighter. How many people can I carry on my back down a ladder or out of a building?
Yeah.
I'm just not that big, and but they don't have those requirements anymore. And I remember they in the fire academy here about 25 years ago, they had a dwarf graduate the fire academy.
Oh my God!
I'm not kidding. It was on the front page of the paper, and I was talking about it on the air, and his grandmother called me up, reaming me out, and I said, how? I mean, could he carry me or you out of a house?
No way. No way. Two more like him couldn't either.
Exactly, and that's.
Maybe he would. I was just going to say, maybe you and him could be pediatric firefighters.
Exactly. Exactly. The explore. But these Secret Service agents, it looked like a bad reenactment. It did a movie. I mean, those did not look like Secret Service agents. And you guys go back and watch the Hinckley Reagan shooting. Those guys were all over. Oh man, they were all over Hinckley. They were all over Reagan. They were big. And you know, Chuck, I talked to a caller about this at the beginning of the stream. I remember when Reagan got shot, those Secret Service agents on his immediate detail had fully automatic machine guns underneath their suits with straps around them. These guys were armed with. You know, I was at an event with. I went and met President Clinton and Hillary at an event when he was president, and he was the first president I got to meet. I went, and I saw a guy and his son walk underneath the rope, on the side of the rope where President Clinton was, and I saw two Secret Service men pick them up by their arms from behind and walk off with them like it was nothing. They were so big and huge. Wow. These guys last night, not qualified to be Secret Service. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's grateful.
All right, Chuck. Well, it's good to hear from you.
All right, you too.
All right, take care. Yeah, great calls on the stream, everyone. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I live stream every day. I always take live calls like I am doing now. And I'm a radio talk show host and podcaster if you're new to me. And I'm at home now, but usually I'm in the studio. And I'm not even using my studio here at home today. I wasn't sure I was going to take calls until the last minute. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Berta from Texas.
Hey, Berta.
I'm very upset.
Yeah.
I'm upset because our country has become, you know, every time we talked on the air, I never said it out loud that this was the biggest fear, that they've done everything to this man and to this man's family. And this was my biggest fear ever, Brian. And I was watching it live. I felt like I was watching, like you said, 9/11, when I watched the second plane go in. Watching it live, that I was like, oh my God, what just happened? What just happened? I'm here, I'm screaming. My husband was taking a nap. He didn't know what the heck was going on. I didn't know, but I knew he went down. Once he saw his ear, he was the one that told the people, back, get down.
Yeah.
And you hear more popping and everything. Now, okay, excuse me. I'm pissed off.
Well, yeah, you should be.
I'm pissed off at the head of the Secret Service. Her name is Kim Cheadle. She needs to be fired. She refused to give extra help to the people when it was a high alert environment outside.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? So some heads have to, you know, now what are the people going to say? I am livid after everything they have caused. And I'm saying Democrats. I'm going to get this clear. Democrats. They've said so much about the Republicans, about we're hateful, we're this, we're that. They're calling our future president again, okay, past and future, a Nazi. How
Hitler.
Are you not going to entice anyone? They were calling him a Nazi.
Yeah.
They were calling him a racist. This needs to stop. Eventually, this was going to happen. I never said it on air because I'm afraid to give people ideas.
All right. Well, we don't need to. All right. Well, if you're afraid to say it before and don't want to give people ideas, we don't need to go there now. Okay. Good call, but I don't know where she's going with that, but I don't want to find out. Yeah. I mean, this is a day to be cool. Don't be like them, right? Don't be like them. We're not them. All right. And I'm not going to talk too much about this guy, but this is the Biden donor. I guess maybe that's what we'll call him, the Biden donor. Yeah. You know, and this photo here, I saw this last night. It's absolutely amazing. It's a historical photo. And it's been confirmed now that it is real, that it is the bullet going by. I've never seen such a thing. I mean, it's like out of a movie. Look at that. Astonishing photo captures the moment a bullet whizzed past Trump's head. But you know, bullets like that, they hit something or somebody. Oh, Sharon Doherty passed away. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, God bless her. Yeah. the Biden donor, there he is. I will never say his name. Never. Never will I say his name. And I hope you guys don't either. I don't think we should dignify him by saying his name, do you? Absolutely not. Well, listen, everyone. Thanks for joining me. My wife and I will have a podcast later today. Great calls. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And everyone who's already subscribed, please like the video. All right. My name's Brian. I'll see you.